Wow. I've just been talking the whole time and y'all can't hear me. So, to our family out there, you get it again. We're going to start this all over again. Yay. Can y'all hear me?
We heard you.
Y'all heard me.
Yeah.
Y'all heard me. So good. So what we're going to do is we're going to start over for our followers and our friends and our family. Yeah. So they didn't hear anything I said, y'all.
Oh, wow.
I know. And that was good. That part's fine. All right, so we're going to get started again. So, all right, so I thank you to those of you who kind of hollered out and let us know that you could not hear us. So we're going to start again. Welcome, welcome, welcome to ImPowered, She Speaks, the Black Woman. This is a series that we're going to have going on now for the next few weeks. You know, in this day and time, it's something that we got to talk about, the struggles, the challenges, and how us as soldieresses, we come back every single time as melanated beings. And so today, we have none other than Clemmy Greenlee, we have Sister Natalie Purdy, and we have Janelle Forbes, some bold sisters in the house, bold sisters in the house. And so I want to just tell you a little bit about them, just in case many of you may have not heard of the great things that they're doing out there. Many of you have, but for the sake of those of you who don't know, I'm going to tell you a little bit about these bold sisters. So first of all, we have Sister Clemmy Greenlee. Sister Clemmy Greenlee is a tireless advocate for nonviolence and sex trafficking. She's also a survivor, and she's out there giving the voice to the voiceless. She is the CEO and founder of Nashville Peacemaker. She's all the way here on the screen from Nashville, Tennessee. And then we have none other than Natalie Purdy. Super excited to talk about this sister as well, because she is an advocate and a survivor of domestic violence. Wave your hand over there, Natalie. And she actually is doing a lot on television, not only here locally in the community, but abroad. She is being the voice for the voiceless as it relates to date violence, teen date violence, and domestic violence. She's been on Lifetime Movie Network. Her documentary about her story was exhibited with Dates from Hell on the ID channel. Not only that, she was in Expedisis there with Say Yes or Die, season 2, episode 6 on the Lifetime Movie Network. I Dated a Psycho. So she's done so much out there in the industry as it relates to getting her word out in audio and media. And so now we have Janelle Forbes, Super Bowl sister as well. We're excited to have her. She is the CEO and founder of Forbes Media Agency. She is a talent producer. She's helping individuals build business out there. Love it, love it, love it. She is also a broker, so she's out there making sure that events are being produced in a very high class, high fashion way. Like I said, talent development, and she's helping many sisters out there realize their dream as it relates to empowerment speaking. So she is a publicist as well. And so we're excited to have her here as well. Hey, Janelle. How you doing? Yay. So I'm going to give them a round of applause since we can't see y'all's round of applause. Yeah. So we're going to talk about today, as I said, the Black woman. And anytime I get together with these sisters, it is a real raw conversation. Many of us have stories. It's a real raw conversation. We talk about the real issues we face on many facets of life. But today we're going to talk about that issue of the Black woman in corporate America, the struggles that we see, the challenges that we see. So real issues and real solutions. And Black women, a lot of times we hear people say, Black women have the same type of struggles as white women. We hear that a lot. That is not true. That is not the case. Now, we might have the same issue as it relates to sexism. The last time I checked, we don't have the same issue as it relates to racism. And so those are real issues that happen in corporate America. And it's not the fault of the white woman. I have many white acquaintances that I have out there that the struggle is real for them. The struggle for us as a Black woman is totally different when it comes to corporate America. And that's what we're going to talk about today. As it relates to equal pay, as it relates to promotions being available for us, as it relates to, a lot of times when one of our white counterparts in the same role, she might have a challenge with something and she might voice her concern about it, and she's just voicing her concern. But unfortunately, sometimes because of, conscious bias, when the black woman voices a concern, she's got an attitude, or she's a little defensive, or she's a little angry, or she's the angry black woman. And a lot of time that's because of conscious bias, and many people say unconscious bias. I'm still trying to figure that one out. I've heard that one so many times. It's almost like putting on deodorant. It's like every day I hear that. And I'm still trying to figure out, what does unconscious bias mean? If you're biased, you're biased. You know you did it. You did it. I think that's a whole nother excuse if you ask me. But black women face some major struggles in corporate America. And so I really wanted to talk to these sisters because they have been in corporate. They own their own businesses. They have their own initiatives, and they've been in and out of corporate America. And in case you haven't figured it out yet, they are melanated beings. They are black women. And so when a black woman has a struggle, especially in the workforce, especially, it is vital that they get in front of that struggle right away, because as black women, it will affect our communities, it's going to affect our families, and it really affects the overall economy when we are struggling as it relates to equal pay, equal promotions, anything like that. It's not just gonna affect us, it's gonna affect the whole tribe, if you will. Okay? So we want to talk about how it's confronted. What's happening out there? What has happened with you, my sisters? How are you dealing with it? And my hope is that we're going to encourage some of our other sisters and brothers out there to do the right thing, to be a little bit more aware, right? To understand some of these struggles are real and how to get in front of them. So my first question for y'all, because we're about to have a conversation here now, is what struggles and challenges are you, have you, or do you face in corporate America? And how did you overcome those struggles in corporate America? Okay? And I got a second part of that question. So if you want to dive into that when you give your 1 minute response, do you think that struggle is going to be different based on these current events that are happening right now? Now, I know all y'all just jumping at the bit to talk. So which one wants to grab that one? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. I can hear y'all. Cool.
So, I had a struggle in corporate America. My struggle was I had to be 3 times better than the average person. I
Hmm.
had to be better than my male counterparts. And then I had to be better than all women of all races, but especially my Caucasian race.
Hmm.
And so I was always the first one there, the last one to leave, always to double, triple, quadruple check my work 10 times and over, just to make sure I didn't make an error, and just to always prove myself.
Right.
It wasn't, it got to the point that I wasn't proving myself just for me, but I had to prove myself for them, whether it
Wow.
was something small or something large. Always just feeling like it was never enough.
It's never
And do
enough.
I think that it would change now? No,
No.
I don't. I don't think that even all that we're going through now, I don't think that it will make a difference in what we do. I don't think that a lot of people that are racist, they're not, that's what we're going through right now, even with everything that they've seen, it's not going to change how they feel and how they view,
Hmm.
especially how they view the black woman. Because
Wow.
we have to understand that a lot of these people have been raised from birth.
Yeah.
Usually in the black community, black families, we talk about a generational curse. They have a generational curse.
Wow.
And so, no,
Wow.
I don't believe for a second that that's going to make
Wow.
a major impact. It may make some of an impact just depending on some people, but not everyone. That's
Right.
my first opinion.
Okay. Wow. Great comment. Great comment. And I totally hear it. And ladies, y'all chime in if you like on this one. But I totally hear what you're saying. One of the posts that I put on social media today was, um, you know, that being black is not a choice, but being racist is a choice. That's a choice. And so I hear what you're saying. It's something that could be ingrained in many people. I think a lot of my uh, acquaintances that I have that are white, many of them are like, Denise, I'm just tired of this. I've watched some things that have happened in the workplace, and much like it, and it could have been someone that you actually worked with, Natalie. We never know, right? Because it's a small world. But they've said, I've seen some things happen. I've seen, you know, people like yourself that come in early and stay late, that work really hard, and I know for a fact that you're getting paid less than me, and we're in the same role. And I see you're just killing it, and then as soon as you do something wrong, you know, there's a public lynching, if you will, and you know, if we do it, then we're just expressing ourselves. And they've come to me here lately and said, this is not good. So I think, if nothing else, to what you said, if nothing else, maybe the individuals that are not racist but have allowed things to be, they've seen things happen, right? And they've kind of let it go under the carpet, or they were afraid to say anything because they felt like they'd be shunned by those racist individuals, will now speak up and be like, you know what, that's not cool. I know that I'm making $8,000 and she's making six. Hold up, is that cool? You know, or I know she's more qualified for this position, but you offered it to me. You know, I really want to give it to her. You
That
know,
has happened to me so many times before. I mean, people that have walked in with no experience, and I've trained them, and they still, even with being trained, don't have the experience that I have, and still they were promoted. And like you said, I can remember finding out sometimes that I was getting paid the same as
yeah.
a manager with an administrative assistant that had no experience that just walked in the door. We
Wow.
were getting paid the same amount of money,
Wow.
but I was
Wow.
held to a higher accountability for what I was doing.
Right. You know, and tell me, Clemmy or Janelle, what about you? What about you? Is it the same for you or a little bit different?
Well, mine was a little bit different. The one thing that I have realized that an educated black woman is a triple threat.
Mm.
As a black woman, we are a natural threat, but an educated black woman is a triple threat.
Hmm.
Um, I currently now own my businesses, but when I was in corporate America, which wasn't that far long ago, I found myself having to dim my light so that another color could feel more comfortable being in the room with me or actually working with me. So what I've done to actually overcome that, as a black woman with education, one thing that I've always heard was that I'm overeducated, I'm overexperienced, and like Natalie said, someone with less experience than me would get the higher paying position, and I would have to eventually, even when they come in, train them for that position.
Right.
I got to the point where I made up my mind and I realized I'm tired of corporate America. I'm tired of dimming my light.
Come
And instead
on.
of sitting at another person's table, I decided to create a table for myself.
Right. Wow.
And that's where my businesses came in. Many businesses came in, and that's where my grind, my hustle, my passion, everything comes from, because the day that I have to continue to dim my light for another person so they could be comfortable,
Yeah.
and it makes me uncomfortable,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
shows that I'm not, that's not where I'm supposed to be.
Wow.
So as
Wow.
long as this is my mentality, as long as I have to dim my light for another person, I'm not supposed to be connected to that individual or that business.
I love
And I
it.
take that same thing in collaborations. I take the same thing in my business till this day.
I love it.
Well, do I believe that things will change now? No. If you ask me, I believe things has actually become worse. only because of what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just seeing what's on social media, just hearing what's in the media, and as a publicist, the clients that I deal with, and everything that I'm hearing, feeling, and sensing, to me, no, it's not going to change. We're going to have to work triple the
Triple
amount,
hard.
maybe even quadruple the amount of time that a white woman would have to work. And it's just the way the system is actually built.
It is a systemic issue. It truly is. I mean, you spoke a lot of wisdom right there, my sisters. And you know, what I love about what you said, and is a solution, is that you know, don't dim our light. Do not dim your light. I mean, you said triple threat, double, quadruple, triple threat. You know, when you are not only black, because you've got a lot of greatness in you, but now you're educated, you know, or experienced. It could be a combination of the two. And then you get there and you let your light shine, and then you've got to train others to bring them up, and they get paid more than you and all those things. So why deal with that? In a lot of cases, take those gifts and open your own grind. And I think what you just said is pivotal to our success, because you know, when you open your own grind, then one of the bigger things we got to do is pull others in, right? And help teach our other sisters, especially our younger sisters and brothers that are coming out of high school and college and all of that. They really need us as mentors. I mean, quite frankly, we need them too. We need them to mentor us, and because they got stamina and all kinds of stuff we might not have, and some really cool ideas. But really, like with us having these businesses and different, callings that we have in our life, then we can show them how to have their own. And that's a whole nother socioeconomic train going on, because then we can support each other's businesses. Wow. You know, that's huge. So thank you for that, Janelle. Thank you so much. I love it. That was some power behind that one, that response as well. Get your own. Don't let your light go dim. What in the world? Clemmy, what's up? I mean, is it the same for you? Oh boy.
At 6 years old, I already knew that the black woman was going to have trouble in the workforce. When my mother used to take me to work with her, and she was a maid. And I was made to sit there and watch her scrub floors and toilets and do the grading housework at 6 years old.
Wow.
And so that already put in my mind that I'm not, number one, working for no white folks. I'm not, number two, for to teach none of my family members or my kids or grandkids to work for no corporate and no white folks. Then I got corporate family members all in my family. I got a first cousin that been in Caterpillar. She has raised so much money for Caterpillar in her 20 years that she's supposed to be at a high rank position by now. And here comes the look Miss Lady Natalie talking about, that came in there looking like Dolly Parton and maybe Taylor Swift at the same time. And she ended up with the position that my first cousin been working her butt off to get. And they overlooked her and gave it to that lady. And my first cousin went through a mental breakdown.
My.
So what I did, I talked her into taking her little savage package and walking off. I got another friend that's been at Redstone for 35 years.
Wow.
She has not got a raise. She has not got a higher position. And then they promised her that she could retire like 2-3 years ago, but we were doing a celebration, retire party and everything. All of a sudden they need her back, but with nothing in front. So I'm telling them, that scared me enough to know that I'm not even gonna try it.
Wow.
And it's like you said, Janelle, change up. I'm not coming to neither one of y'all house and say, Janelle, I don't like that line. I think you need to be put over there in that corner. Natalie, that little flower you got right there, it need to go over there in the living room. So if I just come in your house and change your furniture, what make us think we can go in their house and change their furniture?
Wow.
I'm not with that. So I'm
Wow.
not teaching my 18-year-old grandson that. I'm not teaching my 17, 18-year-old nieces that. I got 3 of them.
Wow.
That just graduated. If they go to college, they go to college. But I'm trying to teach them to get into nails, selling socks, making earrings, anything.
Love it.
said something, and the lady said, "Oh, I remember you on TV." I said, "Oh, really? Well, you need to help me get some more TV." I'm gonna get in there. So, but anyway, what gets me when they say, "Well, I went to college for 4 years and administrator this or media this,"
Yeah.
and you serving me at Walgreens, you serving me at Logan. So what was 4 years for? So who are we really tricking?
Wow.
So is it because we didn't have a higher education, or like Janelle said, we had too much education? Where do we fit in it? So you ain't gonna wait to get 25 years to tell me I finally had too much education. No, I don't get that right. So now, do I think it's gonna change? Hell no.
You know, that's one of the reasons why I love Miss Clemmy. I tell you.
Clemmy on fire.
Woo!
She is on fire.
Listen, there's a little bit of, all of us are different yet the same, I tell you. And Clemmy, when I tell you, you just went on and topped it. I tell you, topped it off again. You know, and one of the things that you said, each of us have some really cool what should I say, takeaways that individuals can take away from this conversation. And so what you just gave us is legacy. And one of the things that we don't do a great job of, that I don't see a lot of, let me not say that, because we might be doing it a lot, I just don't hear about it, which in part is a challenge, because I talk to a lot of people, like many of you all do. And very rarely do I hear us talking about leaving a legacy. And what are we teaching our young people? What are we teaching our children, grandchildren, the children across the street, like we did back in the day. And teaching them, like you said, how to take a hammer and nail something, how to make something, how to read a direction to fix something, and have 6 streams of revenue. How do we do that? And teach them how to have, in case education does not go the way they need it to, okay? Because a lot of us, we don't graduate from high school and, we got a free way into college without athletics or something else. It's just different in the Black community. So what are we doing to teach our children how to take a gift, a trade, a skill to make a living? When all else fails, you got, and like Janelle hit it on the head there as well, owning your own business, and much like what Natalie said, because we get into these places and we begin to train them and make a lot of money for them. Now, I'm not advocating for not working in corporate America. I'm saying that if it doesn't work for you, as a Black woman, as a melanated individual, knowing that, we affect the communities, our home, our ministries, the economy. We affect a lot of things as a Black woman. And it's not just us. We affect a whole bunch of stuff. A whole bunch of stuff gets shut down if our stuff ain't right? I'm saying if it doesn't work for you, then what these ladies are saying, I concur, I should say, is that legacy, let's train our young people, and also be open to be trained by them, because they've got some really cool ideas. And not only that, let's have our own businesses and mentor other sisters. I mean, that's what Janelle does for a living. She's a publicist. She's opening things up to make everybody's skills, gifts, and all that be utilized and be great. Talk about a non-selfish sister. If we all did that, imagine what it would be like, right? So, I want to throw something out there for y'all, because one of my dear acquaintances, Laura Morgan Roberts, she used to be the first lady at my church at Mount Welcome Missionary Baptist Church, and she co-wrote an article talked about beating the odds. And one of the things she said is how we can get around it if we stay in corporate America. And this also works when we're not there, right? But she said we need to have resilience, and have emotional intelligence. So if we hang in there like I have for the last 25 years, I've been hanging in corporate America. And in all 3 instances over all of my years, I've been racially discriminated against. I've been overlooked for promotions. I've been talked about. My light has been shunned. If I make a complaint, I'm an angry Black woman. People have lied on me to get me out of positions. It's been all kinds of interesting things. And every time it happened, I just get higher and higher. Glory to God. But one of the things she said was resilience and emotional intelligence. And so when I look back on that, I was like, you know what? Emotional intelligence, that's something we haven't thought about. We really haven't really mastered that because many times we're ready to turn over that table when somebody does us wrong with our eyes, our mouth. We do it. And so that really stuck, managing and regulating our feelings when that stuff happens, and then having our plan B and C. A lot of times we don't. We just turn the table off. We're going to tell you how we feel about it, or we're going to run to HR. We're going to do those kind of things, or we'll quit. They'll run us out of our jobs. And so those people who are not for the black, melanated, powerful, like you said, double whammy type of woman, right? But she said resilience, capacity, emotional intelligence, and never take away our thought authenticity. Stay true to who we are, right? And so I know that's something, I see you nod, and that's something that we would tell our sisters. Stay true to who you are, because a lot of times we get into these corporate positions and we're afraid to show, the dreadlocks. We're afraid to have the braids. We don't wear the leopard and the African attire because we got to conform to what everybody. We are beautiful, black, melanated, powerful, bold, wise, knowledgeable, worthy, responsible, accountable, giving, nurturing women. And we are just as qualified as anybody else, man or woman, if not more qualified.
Right.
And so it doesn't matter if our hair is blue, if it's kinky, if it's curly, if it's straight, if it's weaved, if it's afro. It doesn't matter about all that. So that's something we definitely want to, as I see my sisters nod, that we want to make sure we put out there. And I thank Sister Laura Morgan Roberts for that article. It was one of the Harvard reviews that she did. And we need to continue to be able to persevere, she said. Keep pushing through. And we need to make sure we get support from our outside tribe. A lot of times we don't reach out to our outside tribe. We let people treat us any kind of way in corporate America before we leave. We do. We don't go to HR because we're afraid to throw the race card. I know, I'm one of those. We're afraid to, say, wait a minute, I heard that John Boy is making $10,000 and I'm only making $8,000. How does that work? Because we're afraid we're going to lose our jobs because we're so much to so many people. So she said, no, begin to reach out to your outside tribe and find out, is this the way it should be? What is the law? How can I take care of this without losing my job? If you choose to stay in corporate America, right? Yeah.
It's 8:33 p.m.
That's an alarm for me. Love it. So my next question for you, and we're getting close to a close here, but my next question, at this time of events, how do you feel? And I got to shift to this because as black women, this is happening. We can't ignore it because we're nurturers, right? But at this shift of events, that's what's going on right now. How do you feel as a mother, as an auntie, grandma, godmama, whatever capacity you're in, as it relates to what's happening right now with our black, I shouldn't say right now, it's been happening. It's not an isolated incident that we've got, law enforcement using unnecessary force and standing their ground and all those kind of things. It's not an accident. It's not something that just happened. But how are you feeling? And how are you handling this with your sphere of influence as it relates to discussing this issue right now with racism and police brutality? Clemmy. Yes, Clemmy.
Okay, so I go back to when I'm 60 now. So when my mom and dad was telling me stories about Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and all of that, and I'm 60 and I'm still seeing it. It's some scary stuff to me. And I also feel that if they was doing them like that back then, or they going to tell me about the murders and the water holes and the dogs and stuff that was done, and we still here at 2020 and we still seeing it. Well, it definitely makes me scared for my grandson, my nephews, my brother, or any young black man, any young black man, period. It don't even have to be no kin to me. And for me to already have experienced 2 police killings here in Nashville just alone in the last 2 years, and watch them walk away from it, it's more scarier to me. But I just don't understand why, if I saw all of these Wade, Michael Brown, Trayvon, Gina Stick. I done been just about all over the states too with it. And I'm still seeing it now, so it makes me think now we need to come up off the sidewalk, laying down in the postal sign, and we need to go to the legislation building, the Capitol, and the voting booth.
Huh.
That's the only thing gonna change this from now. So what I'm doing now, number one, I'm commissioning the chief of police to be stepped down. I want the commander to be stepped down. The reason I'm asking for these two people because these are the people that all these polices are under.
Right.
So you know what's going on. And then I want every police that was with any police that have killed anybody for them to get the same charges. Because you was there when they done it, you heard them talk about it. Then, as this young man George Floyd, you stood there and just watched it. I mean,
wow.
Just rest and grab the man or something. So, and right now I don't know if y'all saw the 6 teenagers that organized the 10,000 people rally here in Nashville. They call themselves the Teams for Equality. So I met with them today simply because the marches that everybody had, they had like, 2,000-3,000 people, but these young people not going. So when they came out, they brought 10,000 people out.
Wow.
So that was something that we supposed to have grasped to, find out who they are, help mold them and teach them.
That is the key.
Word about what they didn't do, should have done, I done like that. So I'm like, so my God.
Come on.
So contact me. So I met with all of them today at 2:00.
Awesome.
Let me tell y'all something. I'm talking about right here. I don't care about your rah. I want to show you how to put this right here. So I was really, really proud of myself for that. They was like, oh, Miss Clemmy, could you meet with us at least twice a month?
That's awesome.
Of course I can. So,
see, Clemmy, that's awesome.
Because all of this is going, y'all know this yourself. All of this is going to go away.
Yeah.
It's going to go away. I mean, in every state, it lasts for about, 6 to 8 weeks? And then it go away.
I don't know, Miss Clemmy. I don't know. I got to jump in on you on this one, y'all. Y'all can jump in if you need to. Listen, let me show you something. You can't see this, can you? No, you can't because it's awesome technology stuff. But I'm going to tell y'all something. And let me say this. I truly respect your comment because I know that you are in the trenches. Each of you are in the trenches out there in the community. And the fact that you're grabbing hold of these young people, that's a huge takeaway. I pray that people are listening to that right now because we're so quick to point a finger at what our folks are doing and not really, expounding on the things that they're doing well. Okay. And so that's what you did. And now they're eager to meet with you to get some more guidance. And that's the way it should be. I don't think this is going to stop right away. I think we're going to make progression. Okay, I've seen a lot of things that have happened and changed since the protest because I was against violent protesting. But when I've been keeping up with all the things that have changed since we protested in the last 3 weeks. However, I've also kept up. When I showed my book and you can't really see it, I also went and did a lot of research. And there are a lot. When I tell y'all there are a lot, there are about 5 times my fingers and toes, if not more, in the last few years of Black unarmed men that have been killed by police. Now, I'm not saying all white people are racist. Definitely not saying all, Black people are criminals, because we're not. None of these individuals that I've researched, we can even go far as back as Trayvon Martin, but from the last 4 years, it has been bad. And I'm surprised that we have not done as much protesting worldwide as we're doing now 4 years ago. Because in 2014, 2015, 2016, we had over 40 nations that we know about. That I could research. There's probably a lot more that, they just, a lot of these police still have not been charged. The investigation is still going. And so I am so excited to hear what you're doing. I know Janelle and Natalie are doing the same things, working with these groups in their community, because we've got to get ready for when this happens again. What do we do with our young people? How do we change the laws? It's great to vote, right? But there's so much more out there to do than vote. You got to,
But let me
yeah.
say this too before you go further. Let me
Yes, because I want to get Janelle and Natalie too in a second.
Okay, look up 2013 and 14 in Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis was having 13 to 14 police killings a month, and nobody was telling. They were crying for me to come up here. Police was killing. Just look it up. 2013,
Wow.
12, 13, 14.
You know I will.
Yeah, look it up. Look up Memphis police killings. It's gonna break your heart.
My. And even knowing that right there, Natalie and Janelle, we have a responsibility as people who have influence in the community, is to continue to speak out about it. Anybody else who's listening to us right now, and not just the viewers that are on right now, but the viewers that are going to come after today. We can't get enough of this, right? Of hearing about it, being aware about it. So with our influence, all the people that we work with, to keep on talking about it and working with our young people that have the stamina to get out there, but they might need just a little bit of guidance, right, and support. So Janelle, what do you have to say about that? At this time of events, how do you feel as a mother, aunt, grandma, not grandma, but godmom or whatever, being about individuals, black young men and women being pulled over by the police? And then when you're done, I'd like to hear really quickly what Natalie has to say.
Well, to be honest, it drives me crazy. I'm from the Caribbean, and we never had to endure such things. So coming here is like it's a different culture. And to see these things, finally, my husband was so shocked that this last one with Ahmaud and George, I started verbalizing things, and he was like, man, I never knew you felt that way. I said, you would never know, because I've been at peace and kept to that peace for so long. Like that lion, that rage, like that fire started to come out. But then it just, I have a 19-year-old son. His shoe size is 15. He's 275 pounds.
Wow. Sound like my son.
And my thing is, he just got a car. We know Terrence Crutch's family. We're like this with the family. So to hear before they shot him down, Terrence Crutcher was coming from school. He was coming from college.
He's
and
on my
to hear
list.
that his hand was up, to hear them before they shot him down say, man, that's a tall, big black dude. As a mother, I have a tall, big black dude. From what they look at, they would look at my son.
Right.
So what I did, I bought a camera for his car. I always talk to him. I said, do not wear a hoodie in the car. Do not wear a hoodie walking around on the street. I educate him. So that is it's scary to me as a mother, but all I can do is educate him and yes, we can trust God, but we have to be practical.
Come on.
As well.
Yeah.
So we are going, a whole group of us, we're Nadia Fisher, Sabrina Fulton, which is Trayvon Martin's mom, and a whole group of us, we're going to march in Washington in late August, late August.
Yes.
So we could be a voice. You want to be in that?
Yeah, call me. I'll be there.
Yes. So we're going to make some noise. For people like me who have never made noise, and all of a sudden I'm making noise.
Exactly.
They're like, oh my God, wow, something needs to be changed.
Yeah.
So if we keep making noise, I can honestly say something, if not everything, something will be changed.
Say it again. Yes. We have to make noise. Silence is violence. I know Natalie and I say that all the time. Silence is violence. If you're not speaking out, y'all can get mad at me later. I don't care. Anybody who's listening, but you just really don't care. You got to speak out to somebody. And you know what, Janelle, my son is 6'4", also 280 pounds, size 15, 16 shoe. And he was a full dreadhead and got pulled over one time and had to reach down and get his ID. And it scared the you know what out of me, because I told my son before he left for college that night, be careful, because they're pulling people over, and you know, some people just, bullies with a badge, and, I'm giving him all these coaching. But you know what? He could have been it was nothing but God's grace that saved my son, because for him reaching down to pick up his ID on the floor. And so a lot of times we don't speak up because we think it won't happen to our kids or our family members or whatever. But listen, Rashard's family members, they said, hold up, we were just advocating, and out here protesting for George. And then here we go. It's happened to our very own. So you're right. We got to speak up. I'll be there tomorrow. I'm protesting myself. I'm a very quiet protester. I don't pull out the rallies with everybody come meet me, but I'll be there tomorrow. And I've been telling a lot of people, again, I'll be there again in Atlanta here. So, same thing. We got to get out and speak it. If all mothers, aunties, grandma and them, the givers of life do that, imagine what would change. Because there's something about a bold sister speaking up. We run the world. Right, Natalie? What you guys say, Natalie, before we close out?
Okay, before I close out, real quick, I have 15 nephews.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
3 sons. One of my sons and one of my nephews have experienced being rough handled. Thank God it wasn't as bad. Thank God they're still here today. But they have experienced being arrested and just experiencing that police brutality. And the same nephew who experienced it before, experienced it just in New York a couple of weeks ago. And they arrested him during a rally. And when he stepped off the curb, they arrested him. They just and arrested him. So I'm always having that conversation. I'm always scared, but I'm not just fearful for my boys. I'm fearful. I have 2 daughters. I have 9 nieces. It's to say I'm fearful for myself.
Right.
I always think of Mitch Blanton and just how boisterous she was, and then how they pulled her over, and just the whole chain of events of her tragic death. And so even as a Black woman,
yes,
I'm worried. I'm worried for my whole family. And it's not just a matter of in a car now. You could be walking down the street, you could be in the park bird watching, you could be riding a bike, you could be doing any of those things.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's going to happen.
You really don't. You're right.
I'm so excited to join Clemmy. I'm so excited to join Janelle, and as well as you, Evangelist Harriet.
Of course.
Yes. Just as far as the rallies and us just speaking up and trying to, Clemmy. Oh my goodness, I was so excited when you were talking. It took everything for me not to scream when you were saying how you got teenagers. I'm like, oh, I need to talk to them because that's our future.
Yeah.
And if we could take all of those young men and just guide them in the direction that they want guidance.
They do.
Yeah.
And for them to all come together and just teach them how strong and powerful we are.
Yes.
And we're all separated and all going in different directions. We'll never get anywhere. But just like you said, Evangelist, just look at the difference of what it's made with all the rallies and everything. It's made them say, okay, you know what? We have to do something.
Yeah.
They all get together.
Yeah.
They are forced to be reckoned with.
Right.
And so if you notice, even with George, in the beginning, they said they hadn't even arrested him. But once they started seeing, like you said, the violent protest, they said, oh, wait a minute. They're about to burn down.
They're sick and tired of being, we're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
The police department.
Yeah.
Yes, they're burning stores. They're doing this, they're doing that. And then for them, I have to say, shout out for all of the other races.
Absolutely.
Rallied with us and came together with us to make us even more powerful. That they said, wait a minute.
Right.
We have all races coming together saying this is wrong. We have to arrest him.
You're right. Wow. I mean, you're right. That speaks so many volumes. And you just hit the nail on the head again. I mean,
If I can just get all these people to come together for not just the police brutality. Exactly. If I could get them assault.
Right. Hello.
We're not.
We're not.
Gonna take molestation against these children. This child abuse that's been going on forever.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of. If you see my Facebook and you think you tired of seeing it, please know I'm tired of posting it.
Hello.
Every 5 minutes. I'm so tired.
Say it.
Tired.
Say
We
it.
need to come
Say it.
together and say, the unity and to love one another and say, we're not going to stand for it. We're not going to stand for it.
We're not going to stand for it.
We're not going to stand for domestic violence.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're out there holding up your fist and saying no to police brutality, but you're going home and beating your wife. We're not going to do that anymore. So, it's so many other things that we need. We need to come together and really.
Clemmy, where you at?
So this what done happened with me, y'all. The gang members in California and Michigan done call me. They want me to meet. They want me to come up here. They want to come down here. They want to tie their flags because they want to stop the violence that they've been doing among each other. And I told them, y'all done killed my son. Y'all done killed my grandson. And y'all done killed my nephew. So I still want to help y'all.
Wow.
So if we get them together like you just said and get all of these mothers who've been with the domestic
That's
violence,
right.
and the gangbangers, these kids, they done, but they don't have no guidance. And that's why I want to come here with you, Janelle. I would love to talk to you and get your information and get together.
Yes.
Now, look at here, Evangelist. This is what you done. I've been talking about a million woman march to Washington.
Let's do it.
All mamas. You don't have to be nobody who got killed. You don't have to be nobody but it's mothers that care. March with us before we get to your house.
Come on.
Some stuff now.
Y'all about to give me an amen in a minute.
So we can mama march. Come on, I think we can put it together.
We can. It's done. It is done. And listen, let me go on and put it out there. Thank you, my sister Clemmy. And you know what, Natalie, you know what you done stirred up, all right? So you know what happens when we get together. Janelle, you see that now. So
2021.
here we go. Here we go. What is this? June 15th. Mother's Day March 2021. It was said right here. Let me go on and email it to myself and save it. Janelle, we ready. Now you see how we roll. We are there. There's so many other women that are ready to roll with you. All you got to do is say the word. They just want to hear, get the invite. That are listening right now, that will be listening after tonight. You already know you got 3 other sisters right now that are ready to fight the good fight, okay? Peacefully, obviously. And Natalie and Clemmy know how we roll. We put our dukes up with this domestic violence and self-trafficking and date violence thing. So they already know that we cross, unified, and support and all that. And so any women out there that are listening right now, listen, we are not the little I and the big I and the little T. We don't roll like that. We are ready to unite. We're ready to share our gifts. We want you to share your gifts. We're ready to be stronger together. As Black women, we are stronger together. We bring a whole nother dynamic to these events. And so we need you. We need you, mothers, aunties, grandmas, cousin and them, all that. We need the whole tribe out there, not just fighting this fight of inequality, but fighting the fight of domestic violence, fighting the fight of sex trafficking. I would not be doing my job for my sisters and for myself and for many of you out there if I didn't bring that up. And so the pandemic continues. It's not just a COVID-19 pandemic. It is a pandemic with this, unnecessary force. It's a pandemic. There's been a pandemic with rape, domestic violence, self-trafficking, sex trafficking. It's been a pandemic. If we unite on these initiatives collectively, we're all leaders. There is some amazing change that can happen. We won't have to talk about defunding the police and demilitarizing the police and all those things. Some stuff is going to happen. Okay, so I send a challenge out there to each and every one of you. And I know we needed 30 seconds each. If you can time yourselves, because I know many of you, Clemmy and Janelle and Natalie, you have a lot of initiatives going on. I'm going to throw mine out there real quick, and if you can throw yours out there in 30 seconds, we're going to close this thing out. Real quick, I do have an organization of 15 of us that have collaborated. I cannot tell you a whole lot of information about it yet, but I'm going to ask you all to please, if you're not following me on Facebook, now's the time. Facebook, ImPowered Global LLC, ImPowered Mission TV, Denise Barrett, all those, authoress, evangelist Denise, all those pages, follow me, because there is an initiative that is huge that we are about to do. We've been collaborating for the last couple of weeks. It is multicultural, okay? We are truly looking like the United Nations with this board. And so we want many other leaders to come on board. So when you hear about it, when I post it on social media, it will not be an opportunity for you to tarry. And it is an organization that will be able to help with change. Not just change in the law enforcement, but change as it relates to awareness projects for our young people that are being approached by the police. Okay, let me put it that way. And not only that, also in schools, there are some things that we're doing in schools. And so please open up your social media and follow us, befriend us, or however you want to put it. And so that you can, once you hear about it in the next week, you can please be a part of that movement. Natalie, what you got in 30 seconds that you'd like for us to support?
30 seconds. Okay. Follow me on Facebook, Natalie Purdy. On Instagram, Survivor's Voice. I have a collaboration book coming out. Should be out September, October. It's me with 7 other amazing ladies, collaborated by Kathy Harris, and she is the CEO of My Hope Foundation, and I'm actually one of the board members for that organization.
Yay!
Yes. And the ladies, let me shout them out real quick. Cheryl Bruce, Lacey Shaw, Shesta Washington, Kiana Stallworth, Marianne Rivera, Denard, Tanya Dale, and Shada Milner.
Awesome.
And me. Keep watching my page. You'll start seeing things about, so hopefully you can support us and buy the book, Surviving Her. And I think that's all I have, but I always say that, and then if something else comes up.
Well, I'm going to invite you again, so stop playing. So it's all good.
I'll be back here, so please tune in again.
Yeah.
And just watch me on Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome,
And if
Janelle.
you see Janelle, you may see me as well as Evangelist.
That's right.
I'll be at their heels. Okay.
What you got, Janelle?
Well, on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, everything, I am Janelle M. Forbes. 2 N's, 2 L's, 2 E's in my name.
I love it.
What I have coming up, I started rewriting my book. It's called Breathe Again to Untold Stories. Overcoming sexual abuse. I have a foundation, which is the Breathe Again Foundation, which advocates for those who've been sexually, emotionally, and physically and mentally abused. What else do I have? We have the Black Media Honors.
In August, right?
Actually, we just canceled it because of the laws in the CAB and Atlanta County.
Yeah.
So it's going to reconvene at its original date, which is April 2021.
Okay.
We have every celebrity in the industry. We're partnered with TV One and Aspire TV. So think April 2021.
Yes.
Honors. Then we have the March on Washington with Sabrina Fulton, Nadia Fisher, the first or second week in August. So follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Janelle M. Forbes, to keep up with all my stuff.
Awesome. Yay. Clemmy, what you got, sister?
So follow me on Facebook, Clemmy Greenlee, just simple as that on Facebook. But go to my NashvillePeacemakers.org page, and you'll see everything. But you can just Google my name. And see what I'm capable of doing.
I love it. You know what? I need 5 more seconds. Clemmy, I'm going to be in Nashville January. I can't remember the dates, but I think it's the 15th, 16th, and 17th. We have our Kingdom Women's Conference that's going to be at Olivet Church in January of 2021. We're doing our 5th annual Kingdom Women's Conference there. And hold up, you're one of the speakers, so don't play. I think, Natalie, you are too, but I haven't confirmed it with you. But listen, and Janelle, she may as well get ready to. So, anywho, As we get ready to close, I definitely want to thank these beautiful women. I thank you for your candor. I thank you for not only the real issues that you brought about, the real struggles and challenges of being a black woman here, not only in the South, but being a black woman in the world. And I also really appreciate you for the solutions that you provided and the mentorship, unsolicited mentorship that you have given today to many young women, men, and women abroad. And guys, gals, we'll be back next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern.